Sometimes we may find ourselves in a relationship where we spend a significant amount of our emotional energy complaining to our most concerned friends and family. The story we tell is often a compelling one, painting a clear picture of victim and culprit. It goes something like this. Our partner is evidently and committedly afraid of intimacy. We list the evidence meticulously. They rarely, if ever, initiate conversations about their emotions. When we try to delve deeper into how they're feeling, they might offer a one-word answer or skillfully change the subject to something more practical, like what to have for dinner or a problem at work. They may find it hard to be physically cozy. A hug might feel brief and obligatory, or they might pull away after just a moment. They don't cry, or at least we've never seen them cry. They seem to navigate the world with a stoic emotional shield firmly in place. We, on the other hand, as we present it to ourselves and to our sympathetic audience, are the emotionally fluent ones. We are an open book. We long to be close to someone, to share the intricate landscape of our inner world, to discuss our feelings openly and without restraint. We see ourselves as healthy, evolved, and fully ready for love. The problem, we conclude, isn't with us. It's simply such a pity, a profound and unfortunate twist of fate that we've invested our hearts in someone so unyielding, so resistant, so fundamentally unavailable. But however genuine and heartfelt our cries for intimacy may sound, there is one simple, incontrovertible fact that stands in the way of their full credibility, a fact we often conveniently omit from our narrative. The fact is, we actually chose our partner, and we did so freely. We weren't forced into this union under duress. It wasn't the result of a religious edict or a strict familial injunction. We chose them with our eyes fully open, in the clear light of day, often with plenty of alternative options and other potential partners before us. This simple truth should, at the very least, complicate the story we are telling. It introduces a challenging question. Why? Why would a person who claims to crave warmth and sunshine deliberately choose to build a life in the shade? There's arguably a limit to how genuinely interested in intimacy anyone can be who so skillfully and consistently picks out the very kind of partner who just happens to have precious little interest in the matter. Our choice is not a random accident. It's a message from a deeper part of ourselves, a part we may not be fully conscious of. It hints that our own relationship with intimacy might be far more complex than we let on. Furthermore, if we were to conduct an honest audit of our own day-to-day behavior, we might make another uncomfortable discovery. We may find that we too often behave in exactly the sort of ways that guarantee we will never attain our stated aims of trust and connection. In our frustration, we might resort to tactics that are irritable, belittling, or even persecutory. We let out an exasperated sigh when they don't respond with the emotional depth we crave. We make sarcastic comments about their emotional range. We create a dynamic of pursuer and pursued, which, by its very nature, is built on distance. We cannot fairly claim to be desperate for intimacy on the one hand, and on the other, regularly call our partner incompetent, frigid, a blockhead, or a brick for not being so. These words are not invitations to closeness. They are weapons. And deep down, at some level, we must know this. We must recognize that we will never be successful in securing the tenderness we say we so badly want, so long as we continue to demand it in such humiliating and critical ways. In a sense, our method of asking ensures we never receive what we ask for, conveniently keeping us safe from the very intimacy we claim to desire. A truly mature approach to breaking this gridlock means we must bravely take on board a possibility that we may have been shielding ourselves from with devilish care. The possibility is this, that we might both, in fact, be scared of intimacy. That perhaps, on an unconscious level, we are both rather happy or at least comfortable with its absence. That we might both, in truth, be fleeing from the profound terrors and overwhelming joys of mutual surrender. This doesn't happen because we are evil or broken or demented. It happens because genuine intimacy is exceptionally daunting. It asks us to be vulnerable, to be seen, to let go of control. And for those whose early experiences and childhood stories have predisposed them towards guardedness and suspicion, this can feel like the most dangerous thing in the world. If we grew up in an environment where our emotions were dismissed, ignored, or even punished, we learn that vulnerability is not safe. One of us may have learned to cope by shutting down and becoming a fortress of self-reliance. The other may have learned to cope by anxiously pursuing and demanding connection, a strategy that is also, paradoxically, a way to control the distance. Both are strategies born from the same root of fear. The only sincere path to true intimacy begins here, with a graceful acknowledgement of our own complicity. It starts with recognizing the universal human temptation to blame others for the fears we cannot bear to face in ourselves. It requires the profound, humbling acceptance that we may have far more in common with our partner than we have, until now, been able to admit. The very quality that frustrates us in them, their fear of being engulfed by emotion, is likely a mirror of our own fear of being abandoned or unseen. Whatever the surface differences in our behavior, we are in essence just as scared and ambivalent as they are. This joint realization is not a sign of failure. It is the key. It holds the power to finally stop the painful cycle and bring about the compassion and tenderness we have both been in flight from for so long. When we can look at our partner not as a withholding adversary, but as a fellow traveler who is just as frightened as we are, everything changes. The blame dissolves, and in its place, empathy can finally grow. The harsh demands for connection soften into gentle, patient invitations. The relationship can transform from a battlefield of unmet needs into a sanctuary for healing. It becomes a safe space where two people can finally put down their weapons and admit, perhaps for the first time, I'm scared. And in that shared admission, they find a new, more profound connection. The walls we built to protect ourselves can finally begin to come down, brick by painful, hopeful brick. We stop trying to fix the other person and start working on healing ourselves together. We learn that true love isn't about finding a perfect, fearless partner. It's about having the courage to face our own fears side by side with someone who is brave enough to do the same. This is where the real work and the real beauty of love begins. For more insights into building healthier, more compassionate relationships and understanding the deeper psychology of our lives, we invite you to subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching.